You're sitting on your couch, staring at your phone. You need to cancel plans with a friend. The text should just say that you're really tired tonight and want to catch up next week, but you don't write that. Instead, you type out a massive 3-paragraph essay. You explain exactly why you are tired. You mention how stressful work was this week, how you did not sleep well on Tuesday, your car broke down, and you promise over and over to make it up to them. You hit send, and immediately your chest tightens. You feel exhausted. And the craziest part? They did not even ask for an explanation. Why do we do this? Why do we feel this overwhelming, suffocating urge to justify our existence, our choices, and our boundaries to people who have not even challenged them? If you find yourself constantly over-explaining your actions to your boss, your partner, or even complete strangers at the grocery store, I need you to listen very closely, because you aren't just being polite, and you aren't just detail-oriented. You are running a psychological survival script, and today we are going to figure out how to turn it off. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, we explore the hidden psychological mechanisms that drive our everyday behaviors. Today, we are diving deep into the psychology of the over-explainer. Stick around until the end, because we are going to uncover the exact childhood blueprint that caused this, and I will give you the psychological tools to finally stop. Let's get one thing straight. Society tells us that over-explaining is a sign of respect. We are taught that good employees provide context, and good friends provide reasons. But there is a massive difference between sharing information and justifying your right to exist. When you over-explain, you aren't communicating. You are managing someone else's anxiety, or more accurately, you are managing your own anxiety about their potential reaction. In psychology, there is a concept known as the Fawn response. You have likely heard of fight, flight, or freeze, but Fawn is the fourth trauma response. Fawning is a coping mechanism where a person tries to avoid conflict and secure safety by appeasing others. Over-explaining is the ultimate fawn response. When you launch into a 5-minute monologue about why you were 5 minutes late to a casual coffee meetup, your brain isn't trying to be polite. Your brain is saying that if you give them every single detail, they cannot be mad at you. If you show them your entire thought process, they will see you are a good person and they won't abandon you. You are using words as a shield. But the problem with a shield made of words is that it is incredibly heavy to carry around all day. So where does this exhausting habit come from? No one is born an over-explainer. It is a learned behavior. And like most behavioral patterns, the roots are buried deep in your childhood. Imagine growing up in an environment that was emotionally unpredictable. Maybe you had a parent who was highly critical, quick to anger, or emotionally volatile. In that house, a simple mistake like spilling a glass of water or getting a lower grade on a report card did not just result in a normal conversation, it resulted in an interrogation. As a child, you quickly learned a survival rule. The only way to avoid punishment or emotional withdrawal is to have a bulletproof alibi. You learned to anticipate their anger before it even happened. You learned to over-explain your innocent mistakes so they wouldn't assume malicious intent. Or perhaps you grew up as the fixer in your family. You were the peacekeeper. You learned that if you could perfectly articulate everyone's feelings, you could keep the household calm. Now, fast forward to your adult life. You are 30, 40, or 50 years old. You are sitting in a corporate office or at a dinner party. The unpredictable parent is nowhere to be found, but your nervous system doesn't know that. Your brain is still operating on the old software. It still views a slightly annoyed coworker or a delayed text message from a friend as a massive emotional threat. So you start talking, you start typing, you build the shield. You might be wondering if this is you, or if you are just communicative rather than over-explaining out of trauma. Let's look at the hidden signs that you are trapped in the over-explaining cycle. The first sign is the preemptive strike. This is when you answer questions that haven't been asked. You walk into the office with a new coffee, and before anyone even looks at you, you announce that you got this because you had a gift card and it was on your way, and you usually never spend money on this. No one cared about your coffee, but your internal guilt made you justify the purchase to the entire room. Another sign is assuming silence is anger. You send an email to your boss or a text to a friend. An hour goes by, no response. 2 hours, nothing. A secure person assumes the other person is just busy, but an over-explainer, Your mind goes to the worst-case scenario. You assume they are furious, so you send a follow-up text explaining your first text, watering down your original point, and apologizing for bothering them. You negotiate against yourself before they enter the room. Then there is taking the blame for the universe. You apologize for completely outside of your control. If it rains on a day you planned a picnic, you find yourself saying you are so sorry, you should have checked the weather earlier, and you ruined the day. You take on the emotional burden of the environment because deep down you feel responsible for everyone's happiness. Finally, there is the inability to say a naked no. For an over-explainer, the word no feels violent. If someone asks you to help them move on a Saturday and you are exhausted, you cannot just say you cannot make it this time. You have to invent a sick relative, a fake work assignment, or a sudden emergency. You lie, not out of malice, but out of a desperate need to not be hated. Here's the hardest truth about over-explaining. It actually creates the exact outcome you are trying to avoid. You over-explain because you want people to trust you and like you. But psychologically, when someone gives you way too much unprompted information, our brains register it as suspicious. Think about it. If someone is falsely accused of a crime, they talk endlessly. They give every detail to prove their innocence. When you over-explain a simple no, you accidentally make yourself look guilty. Furthermore, over-explaining drains your energy and attracts manipulators. Narcissistic people and emotional vampires love over-explainers. Because every time you justify your boundaries, you are giving them data. You are giving them a string they can pull to make you change your mind. If you say, you cannot come because you have to wash your car, a manipulator will simply say they will help you wash it tomorrow, so come out tonight. When you offer a reason, you offer a negotiation. So how do we rewire this? How do we put down the shield? First, you have to embrace the pause. The next time you feel the panic rising in your chest, the next time your thumbs are hovering over your keyboard ready to type a novel, wait 3 seconds. Breathe. Ask yourself if you are sharing this to connect or if you are sharing this to protect. If it is to protect, delete the paragraph. Second, you must learn the power of the naked no. No is a complete sentence. Try using phrases that are polite but firm, with zero justification. Tell them you will not be able to make it, or you do not have the bandwidth for that right now, or that does not work for your schedule. It's going to feel terrifying the first time you do it. Your brain will scream at you that they are going to hate you. But I promise you, the earth will not shatter. The sky will not fall. In fact, you will notice something incredible. People will actually respect you more. You do not owe the world an itinerary of your life. You do not owe people a defense attorney's opening statement just to exist in your own space. Your boundaries are valid simply because they are yours. Stop explaining. Start living. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments which of these signs you struggle with the most. Do not forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the human mind. Until next time, take care of yourself.